This is Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views, a business resource show with a focus on enhancing the business environment through advocacy, mentoring, and education in an effort to promote economic growth. The Reidsville Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization in North Carolina, working on behalf of its members for the betterment of the community. With Chamber of Commerce News and Views you can use, here's Chamber President Diane Sawyer.
Welcome to the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. We are really excited to be back, and today we have with us Jeff Law, who is with Farm Bureau of Reidsville and Rockingham County. So thank you so much for being with us. But our relationship goes back a little bit further. You have been a part of the chamber for, almost as long as I've been here, I think. So I was really excited to see this transition for you. I know you've done a few different things, and I think you maybe have found a good home here.
Sure have, Diane. I know that I've been in the car business for 24 years. I know a lot of people have known me from Smith Stokes. I started my career in 1995 when I was 16 years old in the cleanup department, and I had worked my way all the way up to the top and been in the car business for a long time. And just through prayer and just trying to figure out something I'd do in my life with a new career, especially after 24 years to walk away from it, landed me with Farm Bureau, which is a great company, and very blessed to be a part of it and to be back in the community again.
Well, I think that you're known for being a good community partner, no matter where you are, and I think that has followed you to Farm Bureau. And I was just telling you my little Farm Bureau story before we started the show. And Farm Bureau is a little bit different because they have membership fees, and
Yes, we do.
it's almost like a family with that way. And I had a previous insurance company who, when I was a young woman, we'll leave it at that. I was a much younger woman, did not have a great experience, and they let go of me. And I had a really great, he's now passed, but a great Farm Bureau agent who reached out and kind of latched on and helped me along with my auto, and it turned into home and life. And I've just been thankful for the Farm Bureau family, and was able to transition to one of the agents here in the Reidsville office. And it is different, this membership structure and what they do with that. So tell us a little bit about why Farm Bureau is different.
So one thing is our Farm Bureau membership. It's $25 annually a year. But that goes to a lot of things. It goes to help with education as far as we offer scholarships through Farm Bureau. Part of it goes to our Rockingham County Board of Farm Bureau, which is not only just our Reidsville office. The Rockingham County Board also takes care of the Eden and Madison office, where Tim Tucker's the agency manager there. But it goes to help pay a lot of things. I'm from the car business, so to me it's like a doc fee. People say, what's this doc fee? Well, part of that money goes to help pay for our CSRs, our light bills and stuff like that. To keep in order to take care of you, we have to have these people paid for, so that goes to help a little bit with that. But our board is the one actually responsible for building the building behind where we're at now locally. So we're not moving anywhere. We're keeping the same area, just right behind the new building. So a lot of that goes towards that. Because of the board being very smart with their money and the memberships over the years, that's why it's able to buy a new building for us. And so we're grateful for the Rockingham County Board for that. Another good thing is we have a partnership with like Caterpillar, Ford. You get extra rebates if you buy a new purchase through them. And we also give up to 20% discount for Wyndham and Choice hotels for being part of Farm Bureau membership. A cool feature that a lot of people don't know with being a Farm Bureau member is you're entitled to a free estate planner. We have one, he's located in Kernersville. He could sit down with you and help you to figure out your future for your retirement and what is best for you and your family financially. So keep that in mind. As a Farm Bureau member, you're entitled to sitting down with an estate planner to make sure he has you properly covered to finish out the years here on earth.
So let's dive into that a little bit. If you're a Farm Bureau member and you don't know about those benefits, where can you go to find out about those things?
Well, that you call your local office is fine, Eden, Madison, Reidsville. And you can also ask your agent, especially like for the estate planning part. Make sure you get with your agent and schedule a time for that, because we only have one for this area. So he does stay pretty busy. In fact, I've got a couple appointments already booked in November for him.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yep.
So when you talk about this $25 membership per year and talk about building the building, tell us about the building and the process and where you are in it and why it's so important for these different offices in Rockingham County to have these state-of-the-art buildings.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of things. One thing is, that building's been there since like the late 70s. I remember 78, which was the year I was born, is when that building is established there. So over time, you know, just we're out of room basically. You still have a lot of the old paneling, the blue carpet and stuff. But just to update it, that's what your membership goes for, to help us to have a newer facility to better serve you. The new building is over 6,000 square foot. It's built directly behind our old building. And when you walk in, you actually have a customer service area right across the front, and all the office will be blocked off now for safety reasons. A lot of times right now, the way it's wide open. If someone wants to come in, obviously they can just walk in where they want to, but we're trying to stop that by having the doors there, but also gives our clients the privacy they need from people just walking in and out. So we're looking very forward to having a great atmosphere there, and a new building obviously always brings new people.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we talked about when trying to set up you coming to interview is the whole kind of preface behind this was Farm Bureau is a chamber champ for the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce, and being a chamber champ means that you understand and see the benefit to the chamber and the relationships that we have with the other businesses in this community. But not only are you guys chamber champs and giving back to the community so that we can help your business, your agents, and other businesses who may have questions or may be struggling or need some help with the city or need, you know, to figure out what it is that they're looking for. But also you guys support a lot of other really great things in the community. Tell us about the things that you guys are invested in and why.
Well, one thing here, especially this past Friday, was at the Reidsville football game. So we're one of their largest sponsors here in Reidsville. You know, it's a great program. Coach Teague has done a wonderful job. And obviously you can tell by his banners all over the place. But we believe in supporting local. And Reidsville High School was one of the ones they have supported for a long time. We're on the Super 30 board. So they have a Farm Bureau night, so we got to go out on stage. We threw some footballs and stuff. You know, being a part of Chamber, we're able to meet and collaborate with other people at the coffees each month. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Like I said, the scholarships. We have a Farm Bureau scholarship where you can go to RCC. You can apply for that your senior year. We also have other scholarships as well for certain schools like A&T and also NC State if it's agriculture related. So we love to help back, especially in our community, by serving you guys, helping out with chamber events, anything we can do there as well.
So you're talking about the ag related. Tell us about why that's important and what that connection is for Farm Bureau.
Well, you know, obviously Farm Bureau had started out years ago to help farmers have insurance. That's where the Farm Bureau come from. But you know, agriculture is still important. I know a lot of times that we have seen stuff go out, especially tobacco is a big industry in Rockingham County, but there's still other things agriculture besides tobacco, and which is very important still in our community. But that's what agriculture is for. You know, we still have food to eat. There's still a lot of farmers out there. We love to support our local farmers, and so to have that to keep going on, we need more people, more students interested in continuing on that education. And so that's where Farm Bureau comes into play, to try to help these students that are eligible and who want to go to state or A&T have a little bit of extra income to go with the scholarship program.
So how do they find out about that? Is it something that guidance counselors talk to them about if they're eligible, or do they need to reach out to your office to get an application?
Reach out to your local Farm Bureau agent. Even if you're not in Rockingham County, wherever your local agent is,
okay,
they can help you with that.
So is that just a Rockingham County thing, or is that?
It's Farm Bureau.
Oh, it's a Farm Bureau thing.
Yeah.
So if they are in that area and they have a local Farm Bureau, they can reach out to them.
Reach out to them about that. That's correct.
That's really cool. I did not know that you guys did that. So that's a really awesome feature. Good to know that our money is going to something that's such a great thing. Circling back to the football thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like what a legacy that he's leaving. And you guys were there on Friday.
That's
is that
correct.
when they surprised him?
Yes, when they named the field
so
after
tell us
him.
about that.
It's pretty cool. I think a lot of the other coaches stuff knew what was going on. Coach T had no idea, but they caught him on the field at halftime and introduced his family and all, but dedicated the field after him. And of course, Jerome Simpson, being an alumni of Reidsville and also NFL former player, he was able to do the banner for him. So it's pretty cool to be out there in that time. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Especially with an impressive win as well over a good conference school that was undefeated as well. So
I know, man, Rockingham County football is just getting really heated, and that's great because it's good for them to have good competition. And I know that all the guys are having a good time and having fun, so that's really cool.
Oh yeah.
What about Tell me about this. So you guys do the scholarships, you support the football, you support the business community and trying to make that work. What about other nonprofits that you guys support?
Well, one thing we're doing this month in particular is for breast cancer. I know this week we're having Pink Day, which I've had some shirts made by Jerome Simpson, had made them for us, but it's the Farm Bureau breast cancer shirt, so it's pretty cool. If you've seen us at the football games the last couple of weeks, you've seen that. But we also have a survivor that's in our office, Teresa Garrett, and so we're doing a donation because ages typically don't get to wear jeans, but on this day they do. So we'll do a donations, and that day will actually be her choice to pick any breast cancer awareness foundation she would like to donate that to.
That's awesome. That's a really cool thing. Are you guys going to do any media, social media, press release about that?
We'll probably have a couple pictures posted
Yeah.
on Facebook, stuff like that.
Definitely
so.
do that and let us know, because I think that's going to be something cool that y'all can say. Because there's a lot of things going on with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So there's just a lot of those type things happening. So that's really cool that you guys do that to honor her. I'm sure she feels very privileged to work with a group of folks who understand how important that is.
Yeah, and then we also have been a little sponsor a little bit for Mountain Jubilee Ministries. I believe that ministry is a great opportunity there for a lot of people who get left out. And in fact, we have an agent that his stepdaughter is there. And so it's a great opportunity to help with that community, especially with Cecil. Does a great job with Mountain Jubilee Ministries, so we donate to that as well. Along with, I got Mountain Jubilee, we talked about the cancer. There was another one too that we did here recently. Forgive me.
No, you're fine.
I'm trying to think. We try to do a lot with everybody we can. The other one,
and I should know this too because I feel like I've seen it, but it's okay. We can circle back to
we'll
it.
circle back around.
If you
There's
think of what
several.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about why we're here, why you're here. We talk about the great things that y'all do. You invest the money back. You talk about the great things that our membership money, if you're with Farm Bureau, what that goes to. But let's talk about insurance. You were just saying before you came that you were filing a claim, and people just don't understand like how important it is to have coverage and what that means. So talk to us a little bit about your products. Like, why does that matter, and how does it affect people's lives, particularly in this just crazy time we're living in?
Yes. Well, we originally, like I said, started out with farmers, so we do a great deal with farmers, obviously, but we do your home and your auto. And a lot of times when we're meeting with people to get in the door, you go through the garage, right? So you help them with their auto insurance.
Right.
You can get the discount as well for your home with that discount of having both together. We also offer business insurance, general liability policies. We do a lot of stuff with businesses that people don't realize. They think we're just home and auto. A lot of people think we're just farm, but we're not.
Right.
But one of the most important is life insurance. You know, life insurance could be so affordable with nowadays that people just don't think it's necessity, but it really is. You know, a lot of times I used to, when I present the premium, I would break it down by day. I know that's something I learned in the car business, but when you tell someone, hey, this premium for what you need for your family is $65 a month, and to a lot of people that may be a lot of money. But when you say, hey, it's $2 a day, what could you sacrifice that you get something every day at Sheetz or whatever that costs more than $2 that you're willing to step aside and not get that and have this protection? Because even like last week I was telling you that I had to do a claim, and it was a pretty large sum of money for a family. They was just hoping to have enough insurance to pay for the funeral, which they did, but they had a whole lot more to take care of them for years to come.
What a blessing for that family. And they didn't
They had
even
no
know.
idea.
Didn't even know.
But I also been on the other side of the fence when I get a call and they say, hey, so-and-so passed away. I just call and check to see if they had any life insurance, and I've had to say, I'm sorry, but they've declined coverage, or they had let it lapse a couple of years ago. Because it puts a burden on your family. You know, nowadays funeral homes, it ain't like they say, okay, we'll do the funeral, get money later. They don't happen because they take a chance if they do a funeral,
Absolutely.
they may not get paid.
They have to protect themselves too.
Correct.
That's,
So life insurance is very valuable, especially nowadays dealing with COVID, because I wish I'd brought the stats before I came, but Farm Bureau has paid over several millions of dollars out just since last year on just COVID alone. So it's very important to have, especially during this time, because you don't know. COVID does not discriminate, no matter how young, how old, how healthy, how not healthy you are.
Yeah, and I think that I don't think people truly, like in this time, thought they'd ever see a pandemic. But a lot of people don't know that that's my background. My degree was in public health, and I remember telling my husband the first time I heard them use the word pandemic, and I was like, I never thought, like, I know what an epidemic is, and I know what a pandemic is, and you're talking about a global pandemic. I never in my life thought that I would see that. And now, I mean, we have this epidemic that has come out of it with the workforce, and just trying to make that work. And people have realized that they value their time with their family and their time with their children and their time with friends and their hobbies and the things that they do, instead of this crazy, like, corporate America, work yourself to death. And so there's just a whole shift of people moving and changing careers and working from home, and they decided that they like that and they're more productive, and companies are proving that they're more productive. So, there's just all these things that are different. And I think one of those is you're not promised tomorrow. And while you and I both know that and have known that, it just became really prevalent and very evident to people that they needed to figure out what they were doing with their life and what they were doing moving forward and how they could protect their family. And you guys, I mean, a lot of people think about insurance. I think the big question beyond life is, that teenage driver, adding those teenagers to the insurance. Tell us about how you walk people through that and get them ready and prepared for what that looks like. Because I feel like a lot of people do dumb things. It's just like starting a business and doing things without checking all the paperwork and all the background first. It's the same thing. Like, they go out and they buy these cars, but they didn't check, insurance or what their plan would be and that sort of thing. So walk us through, like, how that works for people.
Well, obviously, I know a lot of times we get a call and someone gets like, oh, my son or daughter's getting their learner's permit. Well, you do not have to add them to your insurance policy at that time. They fall under your insurance. Now, when they do turn 16, there's a DL 123 form that you have to fill out along with proof of insurance. That's what you make sure you got to have before you go to the DMV office. Once you do that, you get your license and you let us know, then we'll have you add it to your policy. Cars, obviously, is based on your symbols. So be careful what you choose. Older the better for your 16-year-olds, but definitely stay away from sports cars to help keep your premium and stuff down. Make sure they keep a clean driving record. I know my son had just got his last year, so I feel their pain. But it's like that nationwide. It's not just Farm Bureau, but all insurance companies.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the inexperience. But I've told my son, the first wreck, the first speeding ticket, you turn your license in for 3 years, because it will affect your insurance for 3 years. And it even goes for you as an adult. Even been driving 15, 20 years, as you were saying earlier about the accidents you had. I mean, there's points, regardless of your fault or not. That's what you want to make sure, because collision is the person's insured's fault. If it's something comprehensive, those points don't count against you. And when I talk about comprehensive, we're talking about deer wrecks, tree limbs, rock flies up on your glass, windshield, stuff like that that's out of your control.
Yeah.
But collision can be anything. Collision can be you having a wreck or running over something in the road. And a lot of times the confusion gets with running over something in the road. Well, I didn't put that out there. But the way the insurance company look at it is it still could have been avoidable, and it may or may not have been, but just understand that could count against you on your collision. So definitely make sure you preach to your young drivers to be as particular and safe as possible.
And I think that's very important that, now the chatter is always out there about, being backed up to get on the list and, going and finding somebody and hiring somebody and doing private driving school. And at the end of the day, I mean, they've just got to get all the proper things done. And like you said, try to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, one thing I would recommend, even if you're not with Farm Bureau, whoever you're with, is talk to them about raising your liability limits. Obviously, being an IE driver, 16, they'd be more apt to have an accident than me or you who may have been driving for 10, 12, 15 years, or maybe longer. But you'd be surprised how cheap that is to go from like a 100, 300 liability limits to a 5,500. But we would also encourage our people that have IE drivers come on to maybe even looking at getting an umbrella policy, because an umbrella policy would go above and beyond what your limits are. But it will also cover you too when you're not inside your car, at your home or somewhere else.
Oh my gosh,
so
yes.
An umbrella is very affordable. For instance, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe for a 3-car auto policy and then your home, it's like $243 a year. Your son or daughter gets in an accident, kills a family of 4, You have the $500,000 liability on your insurance, but you could be sued for more than that. Well, then that's when that umbrella of $1 million at least comes in and goes on top of the 500. So
Yeah, that's it makes a big difference.
so definitely, whether you're with Farm Bureau or with someone else, talk to your local agent about raising your limits and also an umbrella policy.
Yeah, because I think too people don't realize how expensive things are now, what they come after you for, and the medical cost, and that was another, that's another key point for people, I think, is not realizing what things do and don't cover and what benefits they do and don't get, and
Yep.
and understanding all that. So thank you for going into the detail and explaining that, because insurance is one of those things, like, you have to have it. You don't have a choice around it, and when you do need it, you're very thankful that you did the right thing. But like you said, when you don't have it, it's a really sad day when there's a burden on your family for something that could have been prevented. So
Yep. And I know another thing that we suggest too, that when you have an IE driver, as parents, we definitely don't want to think about it, but that's a great time also to purchase life insurance. Because here's a little short story. There was a client that we knew that unfortunately did not have life insurance on her young adult, got in a wreck, passed away, and she told one of our agents, she said, you know what, I didn't live it one time, I lived it for 20 months, because every month I had to make a payment to pay off that funeral expense. Whereas if I just had a simple life policy in place, I could have had more time to grieve my daughter instead of having to worry about how I'm going to pay for a funeral.
Yep. And I think too, one of the things that we do, there's the credit union does a really great job, and I used to do one in my previous job, but these financial tools or fairs where the kids kind of have to have a budget and they get a job and a salary, and insurance is one of the boosts, and they're always like, I don't need that. And as a young person, you get married, you're trying to do a budget, and you're like, oh, I have to pay for that, and I have to pay for this, and that money starts getting less and less and less. So while people try to skimp around that, and that's one of the things that they try to cut out, what they don't realize is that if they would just, go ahead and budget for it and make it work, it's going to be better for them in the long run. And that brings us to term versus life, and people not understanding how that works. That's probably, I imagine, a conversation that you have already had multiple times.
Had it before I came here. I had a client that called me and was talking about getting some life insurance, and I took the time to explain to him the difference between whole and term. Now, you know me, 24 years in the car business. I can relate a lot of stuff to the car business. So to me, term is like a lease, and whole is like a buy. And so I explained that to him. You can go out and lease a new Yukon for about $1,100 a month. Still seems like a lot, but if you was to purchase that Yukon, it would cost you $1,300 to $1,400 a month. Now with the lease, you're able to get a whole lot more vehicle for a lot less payment. But guess what? At the end of the lease, it's over unless you decide to purchase that vehicle. With a whole, you're going to pay on a little bit longer, pay a little bit more, but at the end of it's paid off, you have something in value. Now where life insurance is not tangible, it could add a whole lot of tangible value if something was to happen to you because of the stuff that would allow your family to pay off and get out of debt. So I always tell, it depends on the age. I encourage a lot of the younger people especially to do more of a term, because during term insurance, say if we do a 20-year term insurance policy, you got up to 10 years that you're allowed to convert some or all of that which you wrote for the policy to a whole life without having a paramed. So why is that important, since you asked? No. But why is that important? Because say today you're young and healthy. Well, 5 years from now, you've had that policy. Well, now you've found out that you have cancer. You have type 2 diabetes or anything that could cause you maybe not to be insurable. Well, because of that term, that conversion period's in place, you can convert that to a whole life policy because you took it out when you were 22. Now you're 27 with cancer. You'll never be able to get it unless there's a time limit that goes by. And if you do, it could be rated. So in this case, you're able to just turn around, convert that over to whole, and have that life insurance to age 120.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It really is amazing how all that stuff works, and how it's just like anything else in life that you've got to do your research, got to be educated, but you just ask. If you just ask the right person, they're going to be able to explain it to you. And I think we see that a lot at the chamber with the different types of businesses that are a part of the chamber and what they do, but also just for people who are starting a business. Like they don't they don't ask the right questions, and they don't know the proper way of doing something, or they don't understand the value of something. So it's very relatable to me, the different types of businesses and why, insurance is important, or why with healthcare you have to figure things out, or why. So there's just all these different things, or with contractors, why things have to be done a certain way and why you have to pull a permit, and so to me it's very relatable. And as I wish and I hope that we get towards this, I wish that some of those life skills were being taught in high school in a way that students could understand them and apply them to their life, because I feel like that's a big gap on things that we're missing.
Yeah.
They used to teach home ec and that sort of thing, and now we've got these career pathways which are wonderful. But it's just like my daughter told me she was interested in being a cosmetologist, and I was like, well, if you go to cosmetology school, you will also take business courses. I was like, because I will not let you go into a trade where you have not also taken classes and learn how to be an entrepreneur, because I think those two things go together, and it makes a big difference. So
yeah, I know. I feel like they should teach, Financial Peace University.
Absolutely.
You should have to take
It's a
that class
wonderful
to
course.
pass before you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would help a lot of young adults, especially starting off
Yep,
their life
absolutely.
with a family.
It makes a huge difference.
It does.
Just knowing how to have a zero-based budget is a big deal. So, and knowing what you spend and how to track it, it's very eye-opening. So,
Oh, yeah.
well, we are almost out of time. So, is
Okay.
there anything that we haven't covered that you want to mention about Farm Bureau, or about the business, or the things? I don't know if you remembered what the nonprofit thing was.
Well, it's not what I'm personally a big backer of, the Genesis Ministry.
Yep.
Rockingham Hope. Those are two of one of my favorites, because I do belong to Osborne Baptist Church as a member.
We're thankful for that. We're thankful for Osborne for all they do to support
Oh, yeah.
Genesis, to offer financial peace, which is where I took financial peace. So that's a really great thing in our community. So
Yep.
awesome. Well, I think that's it for today. Then we'll wrap it up. If you don't have anything else you want to add, thank you so much for being here and for being a chamber champ and for supporting our community in the way you do.
Let me thank you guys, especially like the groundbreaking stuff that you did for us is nice, and can't wait for the ribbon cutting.
I know.
Can't wait
I'm
to smell
excited.
new paint and get rid of the blue
Absolutely.
carpet
That's my favorite.
and the brown paneling.
And the brown paneling.
Just remember, if you don't have life insurance, whether it's with Farm Bureau or someone else, make sure you get it before it's too late.
Absolutely. I would 150% back that. So
That's correct.
awesome. All right, folks, that is it for today's Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll see you soon.